sounds. All right.
Good.
You know the Dizzle, man. Listen, MIC podcast episode 175. Let's just breathe on that real quick.
What?
175, man. Where everyone is a master of their own creation. Our guest today is someone I believe who not only needs to talk their shit but deserves to talk their shit. We're going through my artist talk cohort today, and our guest today is the owner, the founder, the CEO of Audacity LLC. We got my girl Crystal Wamalwa in the building. Yeah. In the building. Crystal, what's going on? How you doing? It's good to see you again.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. You've been bestie bae
Yeah.
since Artist Talks.
Absolutely.
Glad to see you. It's always a good time.
Word. I mean, like,
Yes.
and it was like middle of last month where we graduated. So I mean, it's like just even kind of briefly, what has life been looking like for you since graduation? Like, what you been up to?
Man, life since graduation has been a whirlwind adventure.
Yeah.
Every single week I feel like I'm learning a new lesson with running a for-profit and a nonprofit, building community, and just giving myself that grace that I gave myself the day of graduation.
Absolutely.
Of keeping those boundaries and being true to myself. So yeah, those practices that we learned in the cohort experience, I have been making it my due diligence to practice it every single day.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
100%. And let me just even get into just, real briefly, like, you can get into like, more of the details of what Audacity is. Like, you guys pretty much go around the country, just trying to, create spaces and give artists resources and just like materials to help advance their careers, and like it's artists in general, but like with the priority of Black artists, like you're trying to create like dope Black spaces, which is, bro, I think that's fucking phenomenal. Like, that shit is crazy. That shit is fucking dope as fuck.
The John's is just like catching me for a loop every single time.
Yeah. No, like it's just so dope. And please, and because everyone here is either from Pittsburgh directly or just like from the outskirts, but you, much like me, are from Maryland.
Yeah. Baltimore.
Well, yeah, there you go, Baltimore. yeah, facts. Like, I know it's a little bit different than Bmore, but if you just want to go into just like what life was growing like growing up for you in Bmore, and what brought you to Pittsburgh initially.
Yeah, absolutely. So born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. My dad is from Park Heights. My mother's from Evanston Village.
Word.
Family is still very much out there. My family's in Park Heights right now. Lived there all my life. That's all I know. What ended up happening was 2020, when my now husband, he came back from Peace Corps. He ended up coming to Pittsburgh to live with his family. And with him being here, I was just like, you're someone I want to be with and be married to. And I also had a great job opportunity that came up. And so I decided to make that big jump and move from my hometown and come to Pittsburgh. And so it was a great opportunity. And when I first moved here, I was in higher education. It was a great learning experience for me. I met one of my favorite people, one of my student ambassadors, who is now one of my favorite people in my life.
Right.
And growing from there, learning how to continue how to strengthen my skills with the youth. And so Pittsburgh started as just like a by the way move. It wasn't like,
how long did you like plan on staying here for long, or like?
No.
Okay.
I was only planning to be here for like max 2 years.
For real?
Max.
That's crazy. And like, how long have you been out here?
5.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. Right.
Nah, trying, like, no shade to Pittsburgh.
No,
I like y'all now. We vibing now. Pittsburgh was never.
Right. No, for sure.
We're going to be here for a couple of years. That's about it. Like, me and my husband had the running joke, whoever has the most money, that's where the other person would move.
Yeah.
He got a $60,000 job.
There we go.
Working at a $32,000.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go here.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, Pittsburgh was never on the places to move.
Like the long term. Yeah.
When you born and raised in Baltimore, you don't really think about moving anywhere outside of Baltimore. You're just like, oh, dang, I'm gonna move to the east side or the west side.
Right.
A big jump.
Yeah. Like, it's like even within Baltimore, right? Yeah, facts.
Move from the West Baltimore to East Baltimore. My mother and father used to be like, girl, we ain't coming over there.
Yeah, right.
That's too far. 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But
no, but like it's really in anyone's hometown, it's just like that bubble kind of like mentality. You feel me? Yeah.
And so it was very different, and it was difficult leaving. And then also when I moved here, it was during COVID.
Yeah, I mean,
and I lived in Monroeville.
Yeah,
during COVID.
Yeah,
working at an institution that was in Oakdale.
Yeah.
So I was really just working from home to Oakdale. So I really didn't get a chance to engage with Pittsburgh like I am now.
Yeah, right.
And so this Pittsburgh, had I met this Pittsburgh when I first moved here, I think I would have had a different experience.
Facts.
But yeah, so working that man made to Pittsburgh.
100%. And just even, let's just even talk like after COVID, because like that's when you were really truly interacting with, with Pittsburgh. How was the adjustment for you past, just kind of moving out here during COVID? Like once the city really opened up, like how did you like adjust to that scene?
It was a pretty difficult adjustment process, I will say, and shout out to Camille Bailey from Greenwood Plan. She actually was my first introduction into Black Pittsburgh. She overheard me talking about Barrel and Flow one day in Panera. I joined a Facebook group. It was called Black Women Making Friends, and I made a post. I was like, new to Pittsburgh, to do lunch with me.
Yeah, right. And wasn't it like an effective group name too, which is like, what that group is for. Like,
know what we're here for.
Like you go there for a specific joint. Like,
so I was out to lunch, funnily enough, with another Greenwood staff member, and Camille Bailey heard us talking about Barrel and Flow. She was like, "That's my husband." I was like, "Hey, girl, okay, give us tea. What's going on?"
Facts.
And since then, one of the first things I did when I tried to get into Pittsburgh and learning more about the community, I started going to events there.
Okay.
So that's where I learned about the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust and Arts Council, and like Sydney and Malik and like all these different people, because everybody was moving through Greenwood for their events. And so that it was pretty difficult at first, because I also wasn't Audacity. I was Crystal, the student success advisor for a higher education. So I really wasn't in the art space, but I knew I wanted to reclaim being an artist, but I didn't know how I wanted to go in as an artist. And then Audacity, we'll go into that later.
Absolutely.
But then Audacity became my reminder to be who I am authentically, and that's when I was able to start showing up in spaces. And that's why it's like this blonde patch really just tells on me everywhere I go.
Right.
It's crazy, but it's like, Greenwood was really my first introduction into getting to know the community here in Pittsburgh.
Word up. No, shout out to all that. Like I was even gonna say, like, I think it was during like Malik's like session during the cohort where like you were even kind of just naming off tips that like Malik wasn't even mentioning in the joint. I was like, that's when I'm like, okay, this is, you've been here before, huh? This ain't really like you really do this, like
thugging and bugging in these
facts,
trying to figure it out
100%. But just even kind of rewinding, like what were some of like the first things in your life that like were your outlets creatively?
So my daddy's a bishop.
Okay.
My mama's a first lady. My grandmother, God rest her soul, was the mother of the church. My grandfather was the deacon. My uncle was the associate pastor.
So you know a little something about the church. Yeah. Right.
I have two godfathers. Both of them are pastors.
Okay, word, yeah.
So my creative outlets were church.
Got you.
I sang, danced, wrote poetry for the church.
Okay.
Did the mime ministry. And then when I got older and I went to college, I used to go to open mics a lot. So
who'd you go to?
I went to Baltimore. Forgot my own school. BCCC, Baltimore Community College.
Okay.
And so going there, I met a lot of great people. Theo Edwards, who is working with Audacity now, he used to host an open mic on a monthly basis, and it was called Respect the Craft.
Okay.
And so that was one of my first like open mic experiences that I got to go to. It was in the cafeteria of the school, and every month the SoundCloud rappers, but also some good ones.
Where are they now?
Hello. Now it is some dope rappers.
Of course, right.
We know open mic.
Yeah, right.
They tend to bring some.
They bring a wide array.
Okay. But so like when I got into college, open mics and comedy shows and everything, they started to be my outlets of creative spaces and people. So there are a lot of people in Baltimore that really set the foundation for me to feel confident to believe that me doing something like an Audacity was even attainable. That creatively, it started in the church, and then when I got to college, the open mic spaces and the performing arts, I danced. I went to Morgan State University.
Okay.
So I was on the Dancers of Praise.
That's crazy. Okay. Nice.
So I've been creative from the time I was like 3 to now, except now behind the scenes, working with other artists and being like, yo, you have a dope skill. We need to figure out how to monetize this. Build a sustainable business.
Yeah,
that's really where all of my creative juices are now flowing into the background.
I feel you. Like, which do you prefer, just real quick? Just like, do you prefer being behind the scenes, or like, do you miss kind of being up on stage?
I do miss being on stage.
Yeah, I mean, like, naturally, right? Yeah, I feel like every performer is gonna like fuck with that, like, at some point. Yeah,
crazy. Like at one point, I was 12 years old singing. Just to give you context, a Baptist convention used to have at minimum 500 people.
Yeah, I mean,
minimum.
Yeah, right.
And I used to sing. Like
I don't think a Baptist convention can be less than 500 people. Yeah, so, yeah, right.
It's just like I will never forget one of the conventions in Baltimore. My dad does AV sound setup.
Okay, word, all right.
So they had me do a solo for this song, and it was like a really heavy, like full gospel, like drums, bass, like everything with this churchy song, and they had me singing lead. I never forget singing that song. I'm looking out in the crowd, everybody's clapping. You know, one lady passed out on the floor, and my daddy is at the bottom of the stage, like drive it. And I was like, yeah, this is my children. And so it's like I haven't. Being in that space is like one of my favorite things, of course, but also realizing that as I got older, the way I viewed music became very skewed. The way I showed up as an artist, it got kind of distorted.
How so would you say?
I think for me, growing up in the church and growing up the way I did, I didn't know where I fit in. So I wanted to be a secular artist at one point.
Right.
And, you know, growing up in the church, you ain't no secular artist.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
And then, you know, I didn't really feel like I fit in with the gospel people because I wasn't.
You want to be a secular artist. Yeah, right. So that already kind of,
didn't really fit in anywhere. So I was like, all right, cool. And I would do the stuff like going to try out for Sunday's Best and Apollo and all these different things. Because, you know, in the hood, people think of those as the like get out of jail.
Yeah, 100%. Right.
So when you go to those things and you get rejected so many times, you're just like, well, maybe I'm just not good enough. And then you look up and you just like, cool, I'm going to just go into, you know, higher education. I'm going to go into human resources. I'm going to go into some other stuff and just kind of do the stuff on the side, not really taking yourself seriously.
Right.
And so I got burnt a lot growing up from people that I knew personally and people that I didn't know. And so it just kind of like messed with the way I viewed music and viewed me as an artist and a singer. Because I can sing somebody under a pew.
Right.
You know that.
Right.
You won't hear it.
Yeah, right.
It's just like I'm now trying to rebrand myself internally and how I view music and how I view art and how that affects me personally. So as an artist, I'm working on that behind the scenes. But as I'm working on that and still going to these resources, I'm really thriving in the behind the scenes aspect of like creating these spaces and events and connections and different things like that. So
Do you still sing like at all?
In my shower.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, or when I go home and my parents, they're like, Crystal, sing a song. And I'm like, today?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I do still sing when I go home and stuff.
That's what I'm saying, don't stop completely, or don't let those niggas get that W on. Like fuck that.
Yeah,
like,
I'm working on it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And I will say that when we did the cohort graduation, that was my first time taking ownership for myself. My husband, he was like, so when we left, my husband was like, I don't think people understood how big that was for you to say no to singing because you didn't feel it physically. My voice was not at its best.
Right.
And I was thinking like, what song can I sing at a lower register? Because I don't know what was going on at that week, but just like my voice just wasn't there.
No. Yeah. I mean, like now that you mentioned, like I remember you saying like, like you like a little bit under the weather.
Yeah. So it's just like, I was raised with like you sing when you gotta sing. Whether you're hurting, you sing. That's it.
Right.
And that was the first time, and for me, that was a huge step in reclaiming my artistry.
Yeah.
And reclaiming my voice.
Absolutely.
And so it's been a fun journey.
Right.
And maybe I might get a couple dollars and get a little studio or something.
I hope that for you. Like, I hope you can still flex that muscle at some point. But just kind of moving on a little bit. Like, so kind of describe what life was looking like for you a little bit when you first had the idea or like wanted to start Audacity.
So Audacity actually started unironically in 2018.
Okay.
But it wasn't Audacity. So one of the things I used to do was Crystal Tutu Paradise.
Okay.
I named it after my niece. Her name is Crystal.
Okay.
Love you, Niecy Poo. And I started doing custom tutus, t-shirts, and shoes.
Oh, dope.
One of the things I love to see is when people put on an outfit and they'll be like, this is it. And I love that feeling. So I used to do custom tutus and t-shirts, creating and designing. And then it got to a certain point where I was like, dang, I really want to like put a show together, but I want to put a show together that goes beyond the singer, rapper, poet trifecta for a lot of events. And so I brought in a visual artist, makeup, jewelry. I had a percussionist, and she was singing while she was also like beating on the box while she was singing. We had a guitarist who also came and sang. And my first event, 30 tickets, sold out. People was like,
that's a theme for you.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, oh, okay. Y'all really banging with this. All right, cool. Had people showing up the day of the event like, oh, can we get in? I said, pause. Yeah. Fire marshal was going to come kick us out. The owner was already looking at us crazy like,
for real? Wait, why?
Because we had too many people. It was too many people in the venue, and I didn't plan for that.
Right.
This is a great problem, man.
Yeah,
cool. So then, fast forward, people was like, yo, when is the next event? I was like, all right, y'all really banging with this.
Yeah, facts.
Then we did the next one, and I bumped it up, 75. Sold out again.
Smart thing.
Like, all right.
Smart.
We doing it small.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. People were still showing up day of trying to buy tickets. Everybody had a good time. We even got all the guys out of the audience to come up and do like a fashion show in front too. We did a Soul Train line at the end.
Fire,
like,
that's crazy.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
Cool. That was 2018, 2019.
Okay.
Then I was like, cool, y'all are banging with me.
Yeah.
I was like, we're going to do a big one.
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah.
June.
Damn.
June 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Finna take
3 months a little too late.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baby, I had a headliner. I had the guy, I used to work his door. His name is Sir Alex in Baltimore. I used to work the door for his comedy shows. He was like, yeah, sis, I got you. Let me know.
Yeah.
It was a step team in Baltimore. They were going viral because they just had a Netflix special that came out. So they was going crazy.
What was the special?
Child, can't even think of the name.
Yeah, okay, word up.
Like 4 years ago.
Okay, word up. All right.
But yeah, it was like I had it lined up because in my mind, the progression was showing for us to now do like 100.
100%.
I was like 150. So the venue, I had everything ready. March 2020, they said we're gonna shut everything down for a couple weeks. They said 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it went
a year later. Yeah.
Then I was like, all right, we're gonna have to cancel the show.
Yeah, right.
Do this.
Yeah, man.
So cancel the show. Then I moved here end of the year. And then I just kind of like went off the face of the earth. I wasn't doing art. I wasn't being creative. So that's really where Audacity started.
Wow.
But I didn't have the business acumen to know and understand how to pivot during COVID.
Well, I mean, I don't think, like, I wouldn't even blame yourself for that. I mean, like, who the fuck would, like, bro, the NBA
didn't even know what to
do.
Bro,
I mean, like, what do people fucking do in that time, son? Like,
we've never experienced that.
Right, nah, that's
shut down?
Bro, come on.
You can't go to work?
No, because, like, I wouldn't even, because, like, I'm not even jacking that, because your business acumen is crazy. Because, no, I'm dead ass, because, like, you're, like, you just got in and started moving. I mean, bro, like, your first event was sold out.
It was amazing.
And like multiple of your events sell out very quickly. And like you've now taken this again across the country. So like I'm not even, that has nothing to do with you. That was such a fucking, like, again, LeBron was playing the NBA finals in a bubble. Like, bro,
y'all got that.
He won a championship in a bubble that year, bro. Like, that was just...
And nobody knew what to do with that.
At all, bro, at all.
Like, cool, say less. And so I moved to Pittsburgh. I was like, I'm going to just go here, hang it up.
Right.
We're going to keep it pushing. We're going to figure it out. Fast forward to 2023, I've left higher education. I'm back in a nonprofit space working as operations director. And unfortunately, this organization played with the right one. I was like, there's not an amount of money that's gonna let y'all play in my face.
Damn.
I walked away after 20 days.
The disrespect was like that, or like what was the and you don't have to get too into it, but like right.
This was one of the things I promised myself. I said I will never ever say the name of this organization because I will never allow them to have access to my story. Because people, when you get to a certain point, they're like, oh,
I know, yeah.
Good, better, otherwise.
I gave her a pen that one time in the office. Yeah.
Like, bro, you didn't even remember my name.
I know.
But 20 days I worked at that job.
That's crazy,
and I quit. And I'll never forget, it was Juneteenth weekend. I went and told my supervisor after the whole altercation happened, I said, I'm leaving. I said, I'm not coming back. There was no amount of money. Y'all. I said, my mother don't even talk to me like this. And she gave birth to me.
Golly.
She can talk to me any kind of way.
Yeah,
but she don't talk to me the way y'all talk to me today. I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I left. I never forget. packed me and my baby up because my husband had to stay here and do some work.
Right.
But packed me and my daughter up, went to Baltimore for 4 days. Ain't answer a phone call, email, text, nothing. I was like, I'm not y'all employee.
Yeah.
Came back. On my way back to Pittsburgh, I saw they kicked me out of my email.
Yeah.
I was like, say less.
Yeah, right.
Went in the next day, dropped off my keys and my laptop. Thankfully, my direct supervisor was not the issue.
Right.
My direct supervisor, she knew it was happening.
Right.
She knew it was going.
Right.
And so then from there, I hit up my homeboy. I was like, yo, Nigel, I got an idea, right? You trying to do it? Like, we trying to figure out how we can make this idea happen. My husband, my homegirl, Brianna, the 4 of us, it was the beginning of July. We did a Zoom call, sitting in the car. And I was like, y'all, this the idea. My husband came up with the name Audacity to represent us going into different cities. And from that point, we really still didn't know what this was going to be. We just knew Crystal wanted to host an event. She wanted our help. That was it. And it's grown to something where a lot of people would have said, the Audacity I want to happen now is something that people are saying should be a 5-year plan. I'm like, no. We can make it happen.
Yeah, right.
We're going to figure it out, but we're going to make it happen, whether it's us pivoting and all that stuff. And so, yeah, Audacity really started from a passion of me from 2018 to now.
It's crazy.
And just being like, yo, I've met some dope people. I'm like, yo, you should go to this event over here in this city. But
again, you're always plugging people to shit. It's like different events and just like opportunities, grants, and all that shit. Like,
I love it because I'm just like, yo, everybody deserves a chance.
Facts, right?
Because I feel like a lot of these spaces become such a siloed experience where once they get their core group of artists, those are going to be the only artists that get the money, only artists that get the opportunity.
Right. It sounds a little familiar. Yeah. Right.
Y'all know.
Yeah, right.
And so it's just like, I'll be the yapper to send as soon as I see an opportunity. And I always, whenever I see it, I sit and think, all right, what 5 people can I send this to? And then I'll start sending. And I'll be sending some of the most random stuff.
No, like again, if it even if it applies to one person, be like, yo, you'll tag and be like, yo, boom, I think this is, good for you, boom. And just leave that there. And that's all you could really do, you know what I mean? Like, you can lead a horse to the water, you know what I mean? But
that's it.
Really, right.
And that's really what I want Audacity to be, because the thing is, there are so many great resources and programs that already exist.
Yeah.
Audacity is literally I just want us to be the connector. Like, I just want us to be the place that people can come and be like, hey, Crystal, I have this idea. Where do I go?
Right.
What does that mean? Like, now we're about to start doing fiscal sponsorship for people that say they want to do a 501c3. Listen, we're going to be a fiscal sponsor, show you what it looks like to run a 501c3, and help you understand what that looks like before you put out $600 and $1,200, and now you got a 501c3. You don't know what to do with it.
Wow.
You don't know how to pay taxes on it, and now you messed up.
Right, yeah, fact.
We're trying to help you build a sustainable business.
Yeah, right.
You don't need a 501c3. Maybe you need a LLC or an S corp or a sole proprietor. Like,
yo, why weren't you leading one of the cohorts? What type? Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Okay, so chill out. So wait, why did you have your own session? So this is crazy.
I want to learn.
Yeah.
I want to continue to learn and like absorb as much as I can. I told my husband, if you ever see me say that I don't need to go to a workshop because I already know it, send me into next week.
Yeah, right.
Because you always have capacity to learn.
Facts, 100%.
And it's just like, if I have a resource or if I've met somebody that can teach somebody, promise you I'm going to bring them into the room.
Right.
Yo, come. I know these 4 people over here. Like, one of our artists that we're going to be showcasing for the Audacity weekend, she just moved to New York. While a couple weeks ago, I just met somebody who works at a foundation in New York. I was like, can I connect y'all?
There you go.
Don't even know this woman from a can of paint.
Right.
Sweet as can be.
Right.
She is an artist in her own way. And I was like, yo, one of our artists just moved from Richmond and she's moving to New York. Can I connect her? She was like, yeah, sure. So now that's an opportunity for me to be able to connect her to an organization that's based in New York that she may or may not
have right.
access to.
But like, it's just you want to let them know that, hey, it's just, I'm here. Like, bro, it's here if you need it. It's there. Like, you can't say I ain't tell you. Like, this shit wasn't there, right?
That's my tagline.
Exactly. Yeah, right.
Say I didn't
yeah, right. Real shit.
Yeah, so.
And like, you already even kind of answered this question, but so like, Audacity was pretty much your first entrepreneurial effort.
First serious
entrepreneur. Okay.
Serious entrepreneur effort.
Okay.
My family can tell you, Crystal has been doing businesses left and right since I was
about 15. Yeah, that don't surprise me at all. Right.
And that's why I was like, I really want people to understand Audacity is not one of the businesses that I'll push out for a couple years and then switch over to a new one. Like, this is the business.
Yeah, right.
This is the legacy. This is the empire.
Yep.
Because all those businesses that I did before led me to this space.
Yep.
So yeah, I've been t-shirts and hair and social media, flyers,
yeah,
singing, all that stuff. Like I've been doing all of that, but now Audacity allows me to do it in a capacity where I can monetize it,
right,
learn from it,
right,
grow from it.
Was there any like natural? Because I mean, like if you're doing it like since like 15, like when you first started to like navigate creating that, was there anything that you already like kind of like had instincts for?
Yeah, so community building.
Yeah, okay,
I'm really
yeah.
good at community building.
Word.
And this is where I always give the disclaimer. I feel I'm good at community building, but there is always room to grow.
Of course.
So there may have been a conversation. There may have been something that didn't go the way that the other person expected. But if given the opportunity, I'm happy to fix, correct, and learn from that. Community building is one of my favorite things to do. But it's also something that hindered Audacity growing.
How so?
Because in my first 2 years, I should have been focused on the foundation of like bookkeeping and banking and taxes and all that stuff. But when you are coming from a low income community, you're just taught, yo, go talk to people, talk to people, tell people about your business. You're not told you need to have a bookkeeper. You need to have insurance. You need to have event insurance. You need to have insurance that can travel across with you. You need to have an understanding of what taxes are, because taxes are different in each city, each state, each county.
Very true.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's different in each township.
Yeah.
Each block.
Commonwealth. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
right.
Like I should have spent my first 2 years learning that.
Yeah.
But I'm learning that while also doing the community building. And so I focus a lot of my efforts in building relationships.
Yeah, right.
Great, amazing.
No. Right.
Through the roof.
Right. But if you could go back and just like tell yourself, yo,
exactly, let's do a couple less events, and do a couple more YouTube universities.
Yeah. I mean, facts.
You're like, let's call such and such and ask them this question. And so that I love community building, but it was the one thing that hindered me first starting out. Yeah. And now I'm learning that balance.
Yeah, facts.
Learning that balance. It's very ghetto.
Yeah.
But we're learning.
Yeah, facts. Absolutely. Like, once you get to the weeds and like, yo, all that shit is like, it's tough too. Because you don't know until like you're just hitting the face with it, especially like all that tax and like bookkeeping shit. It's just like you're just okay, la da da, all that, boom, oh tax, oh shit. Wait a minute, whoa, you got to do what? And each what? Wait, but I'm gonna go to Texas. I got to do hold on, what? And I need insurance for what? Hold on, wait.
Oh,
whoa. What the fuck? Yeah, right.
Wait, I got Excel sheets. I got to keep everything together. Like, I got to update my board on everything. I got to make sure when we do payroll, I got to do contracts. Like, I got to do. It's so much.
Crazy,
Like, it's so much.
Yeah.
Grants, that's a whole nother ballgame.
It's a whole other
game.
They
got calendars and all. I'm just like, what are we doing? Just give me money.
Yo, give me that bread, man, for real. Yeah. Yo, come on.
$5
here.
Yeah, but it's like the foundational stuff. So it's like I'm using myself as a guinea pig, and promise you there are days where I'm like, yo, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. It is not worth it. But then I'm reminded it is worth it.
100%.
Because the thing is, you are setting yourself up to be able to share your experience with people, so someone else doesn't come up and spend $250 on an LLC and they don't even need that.
Yeah, right.
Because I was just talking to somebody the other day. They was like, yeah, somebody told me it costs like $1,200 to do the 501c3 application. No. It's $600, but you have to pay another $600+ to have someone file it on your behalf.
Interesting.
I did my own 501c3 application. It was tedious. It was annoying. And I see why people pay that.
Right.
But when you throw out over $1,200 to somebody, they're just like, bro, I can't afford that.
Yeah.
And now their dream is diminished. They don't even understand fiscal sponsorship when you can ask an organization to use their 501. It's so many things.
Wow.
But yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's so many things.
I mean, like, did you like, was there anything in particular that made you be like, oh shit, like I gotta learn this shit, or like was it just kind of over time, like you just
over time?
Yeah,
over time. It's genuinely been over time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the grant. I was if going back the grant.
Yeah, facts.
That was the first thing that let me know passion and grants and bills, all different world.
Yeah,
All different.
right.
Last year, yo, Audacity looks great on the website.
Yeah, right.
I paid for all of that out of pocket.
Great.
We got
Yeah.
one grant, $2,000.
Wow,
that was
bro,
it.
Come on.
And we went to 4 cities, 4 venues,
Wow,
24 artists, paid out of pocket. So yeah,
and like niggas don't even talk about that portion enough when it comes to really building your own business, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, I was even watching a clip today where like it was like if you want to start your own business, like you're kind of a maniac.
A little bit.
Just because 90% of them fail.
Sweet.
So it's like you're already coming into a game with a high feel. Like to stick that out, I think again, like kind of like the TikTok era that we're in, where it's like people are just scrolling and be like, hey, do you want to start your own LLC? Here's how you do it in 5 easy steps. And it's like, come on. It's like, bro, come on. So it's like
Toby.
And bro, and like, Mike always says like this one quote, which I completely fucking agree with. I'm just like, yo, if it was that easy, why doesn't everyone have their own LLC?
Hello.
Why? Like,
My biggest pet peeve is when I see videos on Instagram and TikTok. They be like, let me show you how to make a passive income while just sleeping.
Yeah, right. I put on my socks and made $1,500. I'm like, yeah.
But you didn't show us the 20 hours of you sitting in Canva
I know,
getting
right?
this digital product.
Yeah, real shit.
Why are we doing this?
I know.
What are we doing?
No.
So it's just like I'm trying to be more intentional with sharing my story on Instagram and stuff.
Right,
because it's just like.
And please do, because I think people can learn so much from you, like for real.
Today is one of the prime examples, but it's just like, it's hard.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's a constant reminder, like, it's hard. But I was telling my students today, I was like, yo, we lost a sponsorship today. I got to figure out how to make this up. What are we doing? And they was like, Miss Crystal, what happened? I was like, girl, if I knew, we wouldn't even been here. And it was just like, all the things were lined up for us to be able to lock in, and we were good.
Right.
And then when you're a business, they don't teach you that some stuff just be falling and it's nothing you can do to
Yeah, facts, 100%.
Nothing. And it was nothing we could do today. Like, when I got the call, the other person was like, yo, I'm so sorry. I was like, bro, you didn't do nothing.
Right.
You did your part.
Yeah.
Now we just got to figure it out. And it's like, that's the part of business where they don't tell you, you can lose that money real quick.
Yep.
Fast in a hurry. It's how you react to saving that and being able to still make it happen.
Yeah. So, one of Mike's homies, owns a gym. Shout out to Hurt Locker. Go watch this episode. But he was even saying, like, again, just like that entrepreneurial lifestyle, yo, you don't know. He was just like, you don't know who's going to cancel their membership tomorrow. You don't know who's going to, find a new gym. You know what I mean? Like you have no idea. So, like, whenever you are even earning, some positive income from that, like, it may not be consistent from month to month, from even year to year. You feel me? Yeah, like that shit gets nuts.
Year to year, it is difficult because we just sat down. So one of the things that I do with our interns, and I told them, I was like, with this experience working with me, you're gonna get something that other people will not be able to experience, which is true entrepreneurship. We sat down and did our budget projections for 2025-26. So they sat down with me and went through every single item line on our budget for.
But that's like so, like that's so important that like you fucking do that, bro. Because like, again, like you're showing them, like, if you really want to do this is what I do. Like, this is what you have to do in order to own, run, and operate a business.
And it's so much. And the worst part, I still have more to learn.
Of course, like, always.
Like, and so it's just like using my experience and using what people may call an L. I use it as an area of opportunity to be like, all right, cool. Let's get ourselves in a space where if we do lose a sponsorship, we ain't stressed.
Yeah.
And that's what I told my students today. I was like, now this experience has happened. What can I do to make sure that if we are in this predicament again, we don't have to worry about it? And it's not me literally losing my mind for a day and trying to figure out what that looks like.
Yeah, 100%.
And so it's just like, they were like, yeah, Miss Crystal, because like, this is real. I was like, yeah, girl, it ain't for play.
Yeah, right.
This is
honestly.
I'm glad y'all enjoying it.
Yeah, right.
But yeah.
I can't believe, like, I mean, like, I can, but like I can't even imagine what it must have been like to just like run all those events like out of pocket. Like, how were you even just navigating that for yourself? Like,
ghetto.
Yeah,
it was ghetto. It was ghetto, but it was also a real lesson,
right? Fair.
Because if you look at Audacity, our entire team are people that I have known for minimum 8 years, all friends. And when we started this endeavor last year, I said, listen, if at any point throughout Audacity it becomes too much for you to be my friend and do Audacity, please leave. I want you to be my friend. I'd rather you be my friend than you stay with me and be disgruntled and be upset. And I had to have one of those conversations with my homegirl. One of my best friends, love her down. She was like, Crystal, I came in and, you didn't approach this the right way. And I was like, you know what? You're right. And I ate that on the chin. And I was like, I was embarrassed and I should have been more transparent about where we were financially, and I didn't do that, and I apologize, right? And so now it's just like, cool, how do we learn from this experience?
Right.
And so last year it was hard. Like, people was hitting me up like, yo, can you send me my money? I was like, yeah. I'll send it.
My man.
I got you. I'll send it.
Thoughts, prayers, all that. Yeah.
Hello. Listen. And was like sitting in the house.
It's real though, yeah.
What am I going to do?
Yeah, man.
I ended up having to go back to work.
Yeah.
I did Audacity 100% for 2 years. Had to go back to work.
Facts.
And when I went back to work.
Talk about that, man. Talk about that, man. Like, again, this is just like, it's just real though. Like, it's just like, because like, I think people like creatively, like there's just such a I don't know but like a disconnect with just like what taking on that lifestyle is. Like, you think like you just make a decision and it's lit and like you're networking, like, bro, like what you're describing is owning a business. Like sitting there like having people ask like, yo, when am I going to get paid? And you're just like,
baby, I don't know when I'm paying my rent.
But like real shit though, like that's real. And it's just like, so it is, keep going. Not
no, for real.
No, yeah,
so,
just,
No, you're good. So last year it got to a point where I saw we weren't getting grants. We weren't getting donations. Like, we got a couple dollars. We did our best for our first year. But then I was looking at the invoices that still needed to be paid. Looking at my bills that still needed to be paid. I was like, cool, I got to go to work. I picked up a job at Starbucks. Every morning, welcome to Starbucks. We're going to get started for you today. Iced venti caramel macchiato, 1 pump. You want quad shots? What are we doing? Had to go back to work. Because it was cute in theory to be like, yeah, I'm a hustle. I'm going to get up every morning. I'm going to do these meetings. My baby still got to eat. These artists still need to get paid. When I did this whole, like, my team still needed to be reimbursed. Like, it was hard. And it was a lot of that stuff where had I been more transparent and told people what was going on, I feel like people would have been like, all right, cool. All right, do your thing.
100%.
There was only maybe a handful of people that were engaged that knew what was going on. And those are the people who were like, when you can.
No. Right.
That was like,
right.
when you can.
Yeah,
people
right.
that didn't know me personally.
Exactly, right.
It was just like, where's my money?
Yeah,
I don't care.
Do you blame them for feeling that way just because, like, okay.
I don't blame them, because the thing is, I was another head from an organization that said artists are important. And though my heart and my mind and my soul and everything meant it, they want to see that financially.
Right, facts.
And so there were some people, we paid them. They don't want to work with us anymore. They don't want to hear my story. They don't want to hear the excuses. They don't care. And they are justified in that. But if the opportunity should come and they want to, like, look at these interviews and, like, look at the struggle and look at the social media and be like, oh, it wasn't out of malice. It wasn't her, like, not caring. Sis was just trying to figure out how to get milk and pay me.
Right.
Yeah,
right. How did you even, because I mean, like, I'm sure that was tough, just like mentally. I mean, it's just like how did you navigate that?
So I learned about owner's investment. I learned what an owner's investment is, and essentially it's the owner directly contributing to their business. So basically donating to myself. And so once I learned about that, I started picking up hours at Starbucks, and I essentially just split my checks in half. And whenever that money came in and I got to a certain amount, I'm like, cool, I can pay this person. All right, cool, I can pay this bill. Me and my husband, like, we really had to get savvy with our finances during that time. And it just got to a point I was on shift. So Shipt is like DoorDash. I was doing Uber Eats.
Oh, I know a little bit about DoorDash. Yeah, I had to listen. I had to cruise those Mount Lebanon streets for those tips.
Yeah,
you know, I know a little bit about that.
I got a message the other day. You got a $10 tip from order delivered on June 26th. Yeah. Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. Listen, so it's just like I was really out here grinding.
I feel that.
My mother used to call me, be like, "What you doing?" I was like, "I'm out doing Uber. I'm out doing Shipt." And she's like, "You got to go to work in the morning." I had to open at 4. I opened at Starbucks 4 a.m. And I used to be out doing deliveries until 10, 11 o'clock. Getting up the next morning, going to work, and then getting off of work and still sitting in these Zoom meetings being like, hey, yeah, so Audacity, thank you so much. And still like doing that. And I still doing it to this day. I worked yesterday, 8-hour shift. John is ghetto. And I do it every single time because I believe in this mission and this vision. And I believe that there is something in me that will not let me stop. After last year, I could have stopped. After last year, when I saw I had all them invoices, I could have stopped. But I was like, something will not let me stop. And I can't. I don't know what it is. And that lets me know that something
you're where you're supposed to be,
is gonna do
you're where you're supposed to be,
Yeah. So it's been like, and I just, it's a learning process
100%.
Every single time.
100%. Nah, man, I'm fired up this episode, man, because this is real. There's still real ones out here, man. We dropping gems, man. Come on, man. Like this is real shit. But like, just even more on that fact, right? Because I know people, like, even if they get to that point where like, all right, like, you know, like I can't go all in my creative endeavors, right? And it comes to that point where they gotta get a job. They still want to make it look sexy. They still want to make it look cute. Like they feel like they're too good for certain, you know what I mean, jobs. Like you went to go work at Starbucks. Like you went to go, like, bro, like
happily.
You, because bro, but like facts though.
What you gotta do?
You feel me? But it's like people like want like us. Like if I'm gonna get a job, I want, like, I'm not talking about anyone in particular, obviously. I'm just like, just generally, just from like what I've seen through, you know, obviously like social media and shit like that. Just like people just are like, if I'm gonna work, it has to be like this job, and like, you know, like I gotta be earning. Like, bro, like, you better get the fuck to it, bro.
Come on.
You better just figure out who the fuck is hiring.
Listen.
Like, bro, come on. Like, cause
I literally walked up to my Starbucks. I was like, hey, y'all hiring? They was like, yeah. I said, cool. Put in my application. The next week I met with the manager. And this is also what was different for me. I very explicitly, hey, Aaron, very explicitly told my manager, I said, listen, I am not coming here to grow in your company. I do not want to be a manager.
Real.
I do not want to
just run that check bi-weekly, my G's. Run that check, bro.
He said, cool.
Respect.
Hired me on the spot.
Word.
He said, I know you're going to show up to work every day because I know you need insurance and I know you need the
right.
He wasn't wrong.
Word.
I was late one time. Ain't been late since.
Word up.
Day. And I show, and like my coworkers, I even talked to my coworkers about what I do with Audacity. And I don't go too much in depth, but
right.
I was like, girl, we just got a sponsorship. And she was like, oh my God, congratulations. Yeah. And so it's just like,
because that takes just confidence and it's confidence and humility. Though it's just like, you know, fuck it. If I gotta work at Starbucks, fuck it. I mean, but like the confidence to be like, listen, my G's, like I'm here for one reason only. I don't even drink coffee.
I can't say that.
No, same.
Quarter shot, blonde espresso, vanilla sweet cream foam,
you
3
know,
pumps,
real shit. But it's just like, yo, like I'm only here to get that back.
That's it.
That's really it. So I respect that fully.
Yeah, and I'm like fully engaged with my job. Like,
right.
I have a customer. He comes every morning. He gets a venti latte, 6 shots, 8 pumps of sugar-free vanilla, warm with whipped cream. And if it tastes wrong, he will circle that doctor. He will circle that. He'll be like, Crystal, this don't taste right.
Crystal, yo, what's up? Yo, Crystal.
It's to the point I see a certain car coming to drive through.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, we got your order ready. Come on around.
Yeah.
It's gotten to that point. Like, it's just because I fully immerse myself.
But like, that's what, like, it just speaks to you, bro. That's what, like, it's just like you take every job, like, and like that's how I know you, like, you're a true owner. Cause like every general was a troop before.
Absolutely.
Like you had to be. You feel me? It's just like to command the soldiers, you had to be in the mix at one point.
Absolutely.
Period. Like you can't just be promoted to, like, you know, like a general. So the fact that you put boots to the ground when necessary and you're still doing it, bro, like that's just like super commendable.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where I even had to talk to my managers because originally the plan was for me to be traveling the entire month. I was supposed to be in a different city every weekend.
Yeah.
And so I told my manager, I was like, yo, July, I'm going on the road. So I need to have a restricted schedule. And at first I was going to quit.
Oh,
I was like, yo, I got to put in my 2 weeks. This is going to be a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Why did my manager go tell the district manager? The district manager was like, yeah, you can't leave.
Oh, shit.
She was like, you can't leave.
You do your job too well,
like,
yeah.
What are we doing? She was like, we could give you a restricted schedule.
Yeah.
And then when you finish, you can come back full time.
I mean, shout out to them.
Like, appreciate
yeah. Right, yeah.
And that's what I've been doing. So I work at Starbucks Monday, Tuesday, Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with my interns on Wednesday, Thursdays,
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, Sunday, admin, family time.
Yeah, right.
Catch a couple events.
Exactly.
And that's why I be telling people, when y'all see me at these events during the week, baby is tired.
Yeah, right.
Baby is tired.
Yeah, right.
Like when I leave here, I still got to go home and be a wife and a mom.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Still got to be a daughter.
Yep.
Hey, ma.
Yep.
Hey, dad. Hey, grandpa.
Yep.
You know, still got to show up in my other parts of my life. So, yeah.
So what were some of like the milestones that you hit when you were growing Audacity?
Oh, milestones. I will say the best milestone right now, we got a hotel sponsorship.
Oh, shit.
A hotel was like, yeah, we'll give you some rooms. And we got another grant. And
congrats. That's fucking incredible. Yeah.
It's been like really, really, it's been a huge difference from last year to this year.
What do you think changed for you?
I canceled shows.
Okay.
Canceled shows. Last year, I broke myself to make this happen. Like I said, the community building, I lost some relationships. Lost some people that said, you know what, we ain't trying to mess with that. And so last year to this year, the milestone that I am most proud of was I looked at the logistics. I looked at the money. I looked at who needed to be where. I looked at what needed to happen. And I was like, it's just not sustainable. So I canceled the tour. Embarrassing, right? Because I'm shouting from the rooftops, we going on tour.
Right.
We're going on tour, 4 cities,
right.
8 artists. And I had to be like, we don't have the money. Had to cancel it. That's a milestone for me. Because I was able to look at it honestly, transparently, and be like, this isn't gonna work.
Right.
And so we have to refocus our efforts and bring everybody here to Pittsburgh for Audacity Weekend. And so that is a milestone. In the moment, I was embarrassed. I was scared. I was like, dang, we're going to lose artists. Nobody going to want to talk to us. But it's like, I'd rather you be mad at me because I canceled a show
than have to go on tour. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, have this whole tour and then circle back and be like, yo, great job, work. You dapping everyone up. All right, I can't pay.
Because now you're going to look up by the time we get to Pittsburgh. Half of the artists going to be like, I'm not coming.
No.
You ain't paying me for the last 3 shows yet. And I made that promise to them. I was like, y'all, the pay schedule is going to be this. You get paid the weekend before the first show. You'll get 2 payments in the middle, and you'll get that last payment right after Pittsburgh. Yeah. That was the pay schedule. And I verbatim said, if I can't meet that pay schedule, we're canceling. And people gave me false hope. People were telling me, yeah, we want to have a meeting with you. We want to contribute.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where I had to stop waiting on people. Ticket sales weren't doing what they needed to do in the different communities. What I've been able to mobilize here in Pittsburgh, I want to replicate that in other cities.
Right.
And so now what we're doing is we're using that weekend. And now during the fall, I'm going back to these cities that we weren't doing so good in ticket sales. And I'm going to these organizations that played in my face and be like, yo, I want to bring this to your city.
Yeah.
This is what we did in Pittsburgh. Now imagine if we can do that here. And so that pivot is something I'm most proud of with that milestone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything.
That's something like even shout out to you just for even having the maturity, the fucking bravery, courage to even be like, yo.
Yeah.
We're not doing this, like, and just like, cause I know, like, especially when like you're vocal about an event, like you're telling people like, yo, boom, boom, like this shit's happening, like to be like, yo, that takes a lot of courage, yo. You like, you know what I mean? So like, you just even props to you for that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
It was hard. We had to do. And I mean, like, I had to send out an email to like 30 people.
Yeah, man.
Our board, the artists, the venues. We lost money.
Yeah.
We paid deposits.
Yeah, man.
That's why I was telling people, like, y'all, I lost over $1,500 on venues that are non-refundable. trust and believe this decision did not come light.
Right, yeah. Like, I just canceled just because I wasn't feeling it. Like, yeah, right? I know.
I was ready to be in Charlotte, Virginia. I was ready to hit every city. I was ready to go back home.
Yeah.
I was ready to be in Baltimore, turn up, have a good time. And to have to do that, and it's just like, and I know it made some people feel away. I know that.
Yeah,
I'm not ignorant to that.
Yeah, right.
But I also can't control how people respond.
Yeah, you can.
And so taking that,
you drive yourself crazy if you try to. Yeah,
and,
right.
You know, I'm already crazy. I don't need nobody else, and nothing else to make me even more crazy. Yeah. And so it's just like learning about that pivot, and then just being like, cool, and also realizing there are so many people in this world.
Yeah.
Even if the 5 of you don't want to work with me, there are a million others.
Absolutely. Yep.
There are
absolutely.
new communities.
Yep.
There are new people. There are people that are currently working with us that see the drive and see the passion. They're like, you know what? One of the artists hit me. They was like, Crystal, we locked in. We good. I haven't talked to this man. He's been showing up to the virtual master classes and stuff, but he has not shown like any disdain. And I was like, hey, like, I know we haven't talked directly, but like, you still good?
Yeah, right.
Like, you locked in. Like, you good?
Yeah, right. I
was like, yeah, I'm still coming. I was like, oh, we love you down. Thank you.
Yeah, right.
I'm still good.
Right. Okay, well, yeah. I just had to check the temperature on you real quick. Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah, so that was my biggest milestone, and that milestone, though it was embarrassing, heavy, hard, I'm also proud that I made it, because now.
So I'm saying you're on the complete other side of it.
Yeah.
Like, how was Audacity weekend? Like, how'd that go?
It's still, so Audacity weekend is still happening.
Okay, word, all right.
July 25th to 26th.
Okay. So, like, it's happening later this month. Okay, word. Okay, word.
Yeah, so Audacity weekend. So the vision for the tour was we're going to start in Charlotte, and the goal is to bring everybody to Pittsburgh.
That's fire, though, yeah.
That was the vision. Like, I had that visual of bringing, like, we starting at the South and then bringing everybody
That's
up
dope, bro, yeah.
And so with this pivot, we just canceled all the other shows. So, like, this weekend I was supposed to be in, what's today?
The
I was supposed to be in Richmond this weekend.
Okay, word, all right.
So we were supposed to be in Richmond this weekend, but Audacity weekend, Pittsburgh, is going to be July 25th, 26th, and the 27th. 3 days of art, community, and culture.
Dope.
We're taking over August Wilson for 3 days.
That's fire.
And I'm so excited.
That's crazy. Congrats on that. That's fucking incredible. Yeah, that's fucking dope.
Whew. Yeah. I was just talking to my interns in the lobby area. I was like, all right, y'all, this is the plan for the weekend. And I was like, y'all ready? They said, Miss Crystal, this is a lot. I was like, I know, girl.
Yeah.
I know.
Welcome to Audacity. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so Audacity weekend is us bringing all the artists from these other cities to Pittsburgh to perform on the big stage.
That's super
at August Wilson. So I was like, all right, y'all, we got to sell some tickets. Let's get like 150, 200 people in there.
Yeah.
You know? At minimum.
Right.
And I know black people going to be late. You're going to buy their tickets.
Yeah, right.
Either buy them the week of.
Or the day before. Or the
buy
day.
tickets at the door.
Yeah, right.
We'll sell them at the door.
Yeah.
I know how y'all.
Yeah, right.
That's what they did last year.
No, I know.
Ticket sales was
trash.
Yeah,
right.
And then like the week of.
Yep.
Boom, boom, boom. What are we doing?
I know.
And I know y'all don't know y'all coming until the week before anyway. The week of. Yep. Sometimes you don't know until you pull out the card.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. That's funny as hell. We should definitely get into artist talk. Just while we still got the time to. So like. How'd you even initially hear about Artist Talk? Like, was it on your radar before at any point?
So Artist Talk, I've actually been watching Artist Talk from social media with the last couple cohorts.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, dang, this is really dope. And so I threw my hat in the ring. I was like, I might not get into it. But when I got the email saying that I was accepted, I was like, yo, this is dope. And just seeing the people that are involved in Artist Talk behind the scenes, it let me know I was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, right.
And then
what drew you to apply? Like what inspired you to apply?
So I knew I wanted to learn about the organization as a resource, right? But I also knew I wanted to reclaim my love and my passion for me, Crystal Light, as an artist. And so, which Crystal Light is a nickname that my uncle calls me. He's the only person that calls me Crystal Light.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, when I start making it and I trademark that name, you'll get residual checks.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That'll be all you.
Yeah,
That'll
right.
Be all you.
Right.
But with Artist Talk, I really wanted to step in I wanted to step back into that space of being an artist.
Yeah.
And so, like, you guys, we cried dang near
I know, I know.
Like it was an opportunity for me to reclaim, to go in and learn about me as an individual. And it was also the one space that I could just show up as Crystal.
Right.
Not as
not
Audacity,
the owner, not the
not the mom, not the wife, not the daughter, not anything for anybody. When I came to those sessions once a month from 12 to 5 p.m., it was just Crystal. And I think that's why some sessions I was a little apprehensive.
Yeah, right.
Because I didn't know how to show up in those spaces.
Of course.
You know, because my life for 3 years was just like milestone. Moved to Pittsburgh, got married, had a baby.
Yeah. Yeah, you hit the 3. Yeah. A big like a move to a different city, marriage, had a baby. Like, yeah.
And so it's just like you don't have time to really find yourself.
Damn, yeah.
And a lot of people oftentimes they know who they are before they get married, or the marriage is where they find themselves.
Right.
I've only been married for a year, and then I got pregnant.
Right.
And then
shout out to Moses.
Shout out to that man.
Shout out to Moses, son.
Like, you know, it's funny because when he came to the graduation, everybody was like, "Crystal, your husband's here, but we don't know his name."
Yeah, right.
He's that man. Yes, he's that man.
No tags on IG. Y'all don't get that.
No tags. That man. You know? But yeah, so it was just like that was the one space where I could go in as just Crystal and really learn myself and like connect with people. Like y'all were my first artist community.
Yeah.
You know, and we may not talk like every doggone
No,
day,
right.
But it's like when we see each other in spaces, it's
love. It's always love, right?
And it's always a community. And so it's just like I don't take y'all for granted. Like y'all are my people.
Of
Whether
course,
we talk every day or every couple months,
likewise.
It's always gonna be love. And so that's what made me want to apply to Artist Talk, and now wanting to share that resource with
people. Yeah.
Because now, and I think it's important when you want to share a resource, don't just share a resource that you have no idea what it's about.
Yeah, right.
Those are the resources. The ones I send on Instagram, I'm like, yo, take it. But the ones where I actively put myself in those spaces, those are the ones I'm going to be the testimony for that one.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna be like, yo, this was like transformative. Like you really need to be in this space. And that's what Artist Talk was for me. I told my husband, apply.
Yeah.
Anybody apply.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. No. So like apart from, because like let's just even take the entrepreneurial side out, like how do you think you personally grew from the time you started to graduation?
Man, that cancellation of the shows really was me learning from all the sessions with Dr. Darla and Boundaries and the sessions we did with Shaki on like funding, the sessions we did with Malik on like budgeting and knowing all of your monies. Right. The session we did with Anquanique with just like the voice lessons that we did, and like Dr. Julius Boatwright when we did the yoga, and then Quest with the sound bowls. Right. All those moments centered me to be confident, to be able to say we gotta cancel, because prior to Artist Talk, I don't think I would have. I mean, I didn't, because last year I didn't. Like I literally, last year to this year is a clear example of how Artist Talk was one of those pivotal moments, right, where I'm more confident in myself. And so from last year to now, and like being in Artist Talk, knowing that there's a community of people that know that you made the right decision. When we walked off from graduation, all of y'all came up and was like, yo, you did that.
Hell yeah.
Take that down. We love you. Like you still showed yourself. Yeah. Whereas in other spaces, I may have been met with, why you ain't sing?
Oh,
why you ain't do nothing?
Yeah, right.
You could have sang like this.
Yeah, right.
But to be in a space where y'all still loved me and embraced me,
right, absolutely,
still wanted to like support me,
absolutely,
I was like, oh, that's what this is.
Yeah, right.
And so Artist Talk, y'all really just like, y'all are part of the foundation for me. Like it's really. It's that deep for me, So yeah.
No, definitely. It's like, what would you tell somebody that, or just even yourself, right, to convince you to join Artist Talk? Like, if you could go back and be like, yo, if you're on the fence about it, here's why you should apply.
Sydney is very intentional.
Super.
She's so intentional.
That's misintentional.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Misintentional.
Hell yeah.
She the way she went about choosing our cohort,
yeah.
and from what I'm seeing from past cohorts, the way she goes about choosing the people in that space, just know you'll be safe.
Absolutely.
It is a safe space.
100%.
Everything we've talked about in that space, I have not heard it come back.
Yeah, facts. That's a fact.
That alone lets me know that that is a space where you can show up authentically and talk about the things and the struggles. Like, I was actually going to come in a group chat today and be like, y'all, this crappy thing happened today.
Yeah, right.
I'm still going to do it. Like,
yeah, right.
but it was just like, Artist Talk Mental Health is a space where you can go in and find yourself, find your community, and really find peace. Cause y'all know I went to sleep during that sound bowl.
Yeah. Same. I was allegedly asleep.
Like, I might have been snoring.
Yeah.
But what does that mean? That means that you are
feel comfortable. Yeah. Right. Facts. Right.
And Sydney literally said, I saw some of y'all sleep and I didn't want to wake you up because I could see you needed the rest. And when you have someone who is leading an organization, has a team of people that can look around a room and see a bunch of people who were strangers 8 months ago
sleeping on the floor on yoga mats,
hugging.
I know, right?
Embracing. Like, it's just like, if you are looking for that kind of community, go to Artist Talk.
Hell yeah.
I saw Benny a couple weeks ago.
Shout out to Benny, man. Hell yeah. Shout out to Benny, bro. Yeah.
Saw him a couple weeks ago, and I was just looking around the room, and he be in the corner.
Yeah, right, yeah. Probably with a plan or something. Yeah. Yeah, right.
I just happened to turn around. I was like, Benny.
Yeah.
Ran up to him, gave him a hug, introduced him to my husband, and you would have thought that we were seeing each other the next day for a session.
Absolutely, right.
But it's just like, that's the community that we build.
100%.
And it's like, we're not in each other's personal lives.
Right.
Besties.
Yeah, right.
I know that if I need to,
it's a connection there. Like, right.
And it's a genuine connection. So it's just like, that's what Artist Talk is for me.
Yeah.
And I can say without a shadow of a doubt, that's what Artist Talk has been for other people.
Absolutely.
And will continue to be for other people.
Hell yeah. No, I just, wanted to touch on Artist Talk, man. It was just such a dope experience. I think, just the way that you showed up, like, bro, I mean, Crystal, like, everyone fucking loves you, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you're like the one person where it's like, yo, Crystal, son, like, come on, son, like, we fucking love Chris. No, like, for real. So it's like, I'm glad you felt that way, because we felt that way. Like, y'all would, like, you would just, again, just show up. And again, like, you were obviously intentional about what you could, like, learn about Audacity and, like, all that stuff, but you were just checking on other people, just like, kind of like giving them resources, like, when you can, just like, helping, like you were just even intentional about just helping others in that space, because like the space and the course just enriched you so much, where it's just like, I'm getting everything I need just from the community here, so everything else is just, butter on the toast, like,
literally,
right.
Y'all made it easy to show up every single month. And like I said, Sydney was so intentional about the structure and how we did it. Did she yell at us a couple times because we weren't doing the things that we were supposed to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but we still love her now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like, growing up as an artist, I wish I had more people that were like that for me.
Yeah, I mean, come on now.
When people learn about resources, they don't share. And it's one thing to be a gatekeeper. Shout out to Michael Corral for hosting that event, Gatekeepers. But it's one thing to be a gatekeeper to make sure the integrity of what you're sharing is intact, right? Cool. But there are people who are hello. There are people who are malicious in not sharing resources.
Or they're gatekeeping nothing. They're standing in front of nothing. It's like, yo, what you gate? Like, there's nothing even behind you. There's nothing behind you, son. What
just let me know what you're doing. Or the people you meet at events, you're like, yo, what do you do? And they like, I work. On what?
Nice. All right, this nigga's Batman. I don't know. Like, this nigga was.
I cannot tell you how many times I saw a person. I'm like, yo, you look dope. What do you do? And he's like, yeah, I be working. On what? On who?
Is there something? On who is hilarious.
And then I go look at your Instagram. I'm still not seeing what you doing.
Bro, what the fuck?
What are we doing?
It gets so different. It gets different. So like it's just, bro, I'm just so glad. So like I'm not the only one going crazy.
No, you're not, bro. You're not
this shit, son. Cause bro, like, bro, they be the king of nothing, gatekeeping. And I'm just like,
they gatekeeping that Colgate in their front that they used to brush their teeth.
I'm like, what the fuck?
What are we doing?
Real shit.
Yeah, so it's just like I am learning to be that fine line. And I see a resource, I'm gonna share it. But if I see a resource and I think of this person, but I see that this person is not ready to receive that resource, that's different.
Right.
That is not gatekeeping. That is making sure the integrity of what you've built stays intact.
I like that. The integrity, that's a fact, yeah.
Because it's like now if I'm like, I'll use you an example. So it's like I see like, yo, Toby's great, but he's not consistent.
Yeah, right.
Let's try to bring him into some space.
Facts, right. He can learn how to be,
learn that and be. Tell them.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, right.
Yo, like you have a really dope passion.
Yeah, facts.
But we need to work on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and then once I see you've done that work, then I can be like, all right, cool. Here's the world.
Yeah.
You know, here's some other opportunities.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's just like that's where our residency program, like that's where that process comes in with making sure it's people that are ready to do the work.
Yeah, facts.
You cannot be an artist and be mysterious.
I know, right?
I'm so sorry.
Like you can't come in a game like Frank Ocean.
You were not
like,
her.
Yeah, that's like right.
Her could be mysterious.
That's what I'm saying. Her can be mysterious. Frank Ocean can be mysterious
as they want.
Yeah, right.
You were not there.
You're right.
You have 2,000 followers on social media.
You're already a mystery. Like you already.
Let's solve it. Let's solve it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just. It's just like it's crazy how people show up in some of these spaces. So I'm learning, you know, and I have some OGs that are helping me navigate these spaces, and they're like Crystal, and I'm like, cool, I'll take that. But yeah, it's just I'll be like, yo, just tell people the level of resources that they're ready to receive.
100%.
Don't make that decision on their behalf.
Right. Yeah. So Crystal, thank you so much for coming through. This was a fucking incredible conversation. You know, if there's any one of recent y'all should watch, it's definitely this one. I think there's just so many gems just from you again being an owner, CEO. And then again, just like, you know, if you're thinking about joining Artist Talk, you know, here is another perfect example of why you should. You know, her testimony is incredible. But this is the part of the pod where if you want to plug anything regarding Audacity events, you know, you talked about Audacity weekend, like, you know, when that's happening. So if you want to, you know, just kind of direct people to that, and anything else, please feel free. But Crystal, thank you so much for coming through.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
My name is Crystal Wamalwa, CEO and Executive Director and founder of Audacity Art Alliance and Audacity Tours. We want you to join us July 25th, 26th, and the 27th at August Wilson African American Cultural Center, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, for the Audacity Weekend, an opportunity to experience a culture of immersive art, community, and fun with Black people. Come see us. Friday night is free. We are partnering with the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust for the Gallery Art Crawl. Saturday is our paid showcase opportunity where you'll get to see the artists that we're bringing from Charlotte, Richmond, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore all on one big old stage. Right. Tickets are $30. And then Sunday, VIP reception. So for the people who are investors, engagement, funders, or just want to be community partners, right? You just want to learn how you can engage with Audacity. Come to the VIP reception. We will be showcasing our 5-year plan, talking about our plan for the next 5 years and what we want to do. And you'll get to meet some of our board members. So yeah, every single night we'll have food. Friday is going to be Meza by Musa. Saturday is going to be Dirty Bird Catering. And Sunday is going to be Pear, all Black owned. Visual art every single night. We'll have music by DJ Joy Imani, performances and everything. It'll be a good time.
Hell yeah.
Art, culture, and community.
Absolutely. No, 100%. Listen, man, MIC Podcast episode 175. This woman is a boss and a star. Crystal Wamalwa in the building.
Yeah.
And we're out, bro. Peace.